Hello and welcome back to the Fast Forward Sailing YouTube channel. Today was the penultimate day of the sailing in Tokyo 2020. There's no video highlights, I'm afraid, due to copyright reasons. I worked that out the hard way earlier on in the week. However, I'm going to be showing screenshots of the key moments and explaining how exactly the medals were won. So we're going to start off with the Finn fleet. It was a light to medium breeze, not very shifty, so it was all about having a good start and good boat speed comparative to the rest of the fleet. So going into today, it was Brit Giles Scott at the top of the fleet. He had a comfortable but not insurmountable lead over second place Zsombar Berecz from Hungary. If Berecz managed to hold on to his medal position, this would be Hungary's first ever sailing medal. So going into this race, it was Giles Scott's medal to lose. However, the four-time world champion didn't get off to a good start. Believing himself over the line early, he dipped back below the line, giving himself an immediate deficit. However, Scott decided to go out left and quickly gain back ground on the fleet. Australia also did well on that left side, but no matter their performance in this race, they weren't going to be in medal contention. So going into Mark 1, it was Australia's Jake Lilly, followed by Zsombar Berecz. And Giles Scott, after an impressive beat, had climbed his way up to 4th. Despite the Hungarian being ahead, he wasn't far enough ahead at this stage to take the gold from Scott. However, Scott wasn't going to make it easy for himself. He found himself losing out on the downwind, falling from 4th to 7th. The big story of the first downwind was New Zealand's Josh Jr., who climbed from 9th to 3rd. At Mark 2, the Hungarian was still in 2nd, crucially being enough boats ahead of Scott to take overall victory. Halfway up the second windward leg, Hungary climbed into the lead. However, Australian Jake Lilly quickly got it back. Scott had climbed up one place to 6th, and with 1 mark to go, it was a nail-biting downwind for Scott as we saw the Hungarian climb back into the lead. The Spanish sailor who went into the medal race in bronze position had dropped back to 9th at this stage. After a disastrous beat, it was looking like he would lose his bronze medal to New Zealander Josh Jr., who was having a great race. Josh Jr. hasn't had the best of regattas going into Tokyo as one of the favourites, having recently won the America's Cup with Team New Zealand and finishing 2nd in the Finn Gold Cup to another New Zealander, Andy Maloney. Interestingly, Maloney is his coach here in Tokyo. So with a huge bunch of boats going round the last livid mark all at once, Scott was finding himself having to play catch-up with very little time left. The Hungarian rounded the last mark in 2nd. Nicholas Heine, a previous laser world champion, had a great run climbing from 4th to 1st. However, the Hungarian put even more pressure on Scott by overtaking Heine before the line. So Scott had it all to do. Rounding in 6th, he miraculously managed to catch 2 boats before the finish line to finish in 4th. New Zealander Josh Jr., who rounded in 4th ahead of Scott, found himself penalised going round the mark, and having to do turns, he fell all the way back to last place. So here are the overall results. Giles Scott wins by 3 points. Scott and the Hungarian ended up with quite a big gap between them and 3rd place, which went to the Spaniard Joan Cardona Mendes, despite a late charge from the Dutchman Nicholas Heine, who finished up just outside the medals. So Zsombar Berecz, who'd been to 2 previous Olympics in the laser class, both times finishing outside the medal race positions, found himself winning Hungary's first ever sailing medal. Giles Scott continued the pattern in the Finn class. The Brits have won every single gold medal since the 2000 Games in Sydney. Iain Percy won the gold there before Ainslie took his place, going on to win the 2004, 2008 and 2012 Games. So GBR continued that pattern to win the last ever Finn gold medal, making them the most successful nation in the class. However, the Hungarian pushed Scott right to the end, with Scott saying afterwards that he'd never been pushed so hard.